Hotep Mary. Peace, love. ET. Welcome to the Science of Energy Fusion. And today I'm going to be talking about why cleansing your energy in Auric practice is so important. Woo! I had to learn that so hard because I chose to not let other things go. Trust me. Want to let go now. Okay. So, through my experience with having my third eye opening, and not doing my practices ahead of time, right? So one night came, check me out. One night came, and we had been staying up all night, consistently. Around the third night, I had fallen asleep standing up and felt my body project outwards. In that moment, I felt something else jump in, and I could see the person. Okay, so people can astral project into your body first and foremost. So you want to be weary of this. You want to have your practices down seriously. Have your practices up, excuse me, seriously, because we're ascending. Okay, so that night he was stretching, and as I'm like half sleep, half awake, and this being jumps in my body, I start to tamper with something that we had while he was stretching. And he could feel the frequency. He's very, very energy sensitive, very, very well knowing in energy syncs. Okay. So I had gotten possessed for a brief moment and I knew it. And I couldn't get myself to stop. And I had freaked out. And I was like I was in my body. I'm like, help me, stop me. And so he already wasn't really having the greatest night. And so when he stopped me, he looked at me like he saw the spirit within me. But I was like, man, like, you don't even know what just happened. And I couldn't even really express it at that time. But I was like, man, like, that just happened. I couldn't stop myself. And I knew I was disturbing him. And that really, really, really scared me. And I was just like, man, like that actually happened. And I didn't know what to do. I was just scared. When he had gotten upset and it felt like he could see the spirit within me, it jumped out. And all I could feel was my body shaking and trembling. And I was so confused. I was like, whoa, what just happened? Oh my goodness. I'm looking at him. I'm in a panic. I'm like, oh my goodness, what just happened? I'm so sorry. And like, I don't even know. I don't even know. And then um, I finally calmed down and I was like, person is right there in front of me who just projected into my body. It was a Caucasoid man. And I was like, what just happened? Somebody just astral projected in my body and began to disturb my relationship through me. And I was like, I was so heartbroken. Most importantly, it's like, and we had this conversation later on, and he's like, the reason why anybody could make you do anything wrong to me is because your heart not open. Let stuff go. Hold on to the past. You're angry. You're bitter. Let it go. And I knew that, and we had plenty of discussions before, lightheartedly about, me not wanting to let go, etc. And so that night, that really scared me. Further on, still unsure, unstable, unpracticing my things that I need to be practicing, it happened again. But this time, I didn't even feel like anybody jumped in my body. I allowed him to get some rest one night. And mind you, if you don't do your practices and you stay up outside all night, you are vulnerable to this. Then you, you're not vulnerable to this in your house, in your apartment, in your home. Know that. When I was up all night in the room, that never happened. I was perfectly fine. We stay up all night out here. I've had it twice. Um, just recently I had another one. And I mentioned a deity's name that everybody knows very well, which I will be less be saying. But there was this melanin man in the when my body projected, my my spiritual body projected. And while I was standing up, I was staying up all night so he could get some rest. Now, mind you, I was being selfish. I actually didn't want to stay up. But now I know why I needed to stay up because I really needed to get on my stuff. I was lagging way too much. And so what happened was he went to resting. I stay up all night, but I was standing up and allowing myself to dance, keeping myself awake. And so I feel myself project again like this time, that last time. And this Melanie dude touches me, taps me on my chest. Hey, look over there. He points over. I can see this man entirely clear. And he's like, hey, over there, like he's standing right in front of me. He's over there, this deity's name in the Christian and Catholic tradition. He says his name, and he's like, he's over there, let's go. And I felt my foot take a step forward, and I was like, no, 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 I know. I stepped back. I started to feel Rick, and in and I actually had to let go excrement at the time. So mind you, your excrement can carry things that attract these kinds of spirits. Once again, you will find that in why food is so essential to the opening of your third eye. So detoxing the body, And so when that happened, he said his name is L dot 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 U dot 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 C dot 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 I dot 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 F dot 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 E dot 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 R. And I said, that's what the guy said to me. Hey, that guy is over there. Let's go. And my foot stepped forward. I backed up like, no. And my heart was racing. I was in fear and I had to go retreat us. And so before I didn't even want to let out my detritus, I was so scared. I got my bay leaves, I parrot the dark spirit, and then I release. But most importantly, it was just like, whoa, that just happened again. But this time, I wasn't gonna come back. There was my physical body actually moved to a particular negative spirit name. I was not coming back. And right before that projection happened, I heard in my mind, leave him vulnerable. Leave him right there. Leave him in the middle of the night, maybe about early in the rising time. Leave him. Leave him vulnerable. He's exhausted. So if you leave, then he can be harmed. And I was like, no, no. In my mind, why would I do that? I want him to know that I love him. I wouldn't do that. Because I was already carrying selfish habits that express that someone does not love you. So I'm learning to, be more grateful and in gratitude. So when I was like, when that happened, I was like, no. And I had just started facing a lot of my shadow work, maybe about a weekend of facing my shadow work. And I was like, heck no, I'm not going with you. So be mindful of your spirit work. It matters on a scale that I couldn't even tell you. And teach the practices my husband has. Like He's taught me all of these things, and they were. After that happened, I put in my work. I stay up all night. I stay up all night again. It no happen. Now I already used to practice what he teach me on and off, but I never solidified it. But that after that, I was like, heck no, I want to solidify this because I know it works. I just be slacking. I just be lazy. I didn't want to let go of the past. Most importantly, not making excuses of being a victim and things like that. And so, I finally just was like, I'm gonna let that go because that's not gonna help me right now. No, that's not gonna save me either. That lame, same old attitude, that selfishness and disrespect was not going to save me from walking away that night. All that shadow work he helped me do to that night is what saved me. Is what saved me in the end. Why? Because it's actually really low, and it could have died. So at the end of the night, the only thing that saved me was all of the shadow work that we had been doing for the past week. Other than that, I probably could have walked away. And man, I'm so grateful that only took it one step. I'm so grateful I had the willpower and ability within myself to only have taken one step towards the complete wrong direction. Like seriously, like that experience can make me cry. He woke up and had some insane dream at the same time that happened, and it, I was like, he wanted to talk about it. I'm like, I couldn't even talk about it right then and there because it was serious for the both of us, and I was being, so inconsiderate of his experience at times. And when that happened, I was like, I let it off. So I drop it now. Uh, there, there's nothing more I can say. Like he's very good at communicating outwardly. Things that happen that we go through immediately. Me, I have to wait a second. I'm like, I need some time for this. Like I need to adjust to this because this is serious. I'm learning to, be able to hop on it right away, but sometimes it just be like, nah. But I noticed that doesn't help because it's marinating the energy that you don't want too long for comfort. So just be knowing and weary that doing your spiritual work is important. Most importantly, Auric strengthening, Auric buffering, your shadow work, facing yourself, letting go. It is so important in the direction you walk when your third eye is opening. And be mindful if that's my experience outside with that, now you can understand why some homeless people don't lose their sanity. They tried staying up all night. They wasn't used to homelessness. They wasn't used to homelessness, so they stayed up all night, unguarded, unshielded, don't know what to do. And they lost faith after so many days went by. They did drugs, and then the spirit hop in, and they gone. They out of there. So just be mindful that it's a very serious thing to go through homelessness naked like this. Awareness intact, love intact, expression intact, and most importantly, the ability to share it, to make it, to share it with others so they know what they can do to avoid it, how to avoid it, and going and help others as they have helped you for sure. Much love and happy ascension. Thank you for watching. Shem Ir hotep. Go in love and peace. Shem Ir Ma'at. Let's go do harmonious balance. Have a great one.